It's time to live your stronger life. Hey, I'm Sammy, physio coach and nutritionist, and your hype girl for creating your stronger life. Here, we ditch the quick fixes and build real strength inside and out. So whether you're here to tone up, drop the body fat, build muscle, mental resilience, or ditch the diet culture, or just feel bloody good in your skin, you're in the right place. So let's get into it. All right, be honest with me. How many times have you meal prepped for 1 week, felt amazing, and then never done it again? Because meal prep does work. But the way you were taught to do it, it was never going to last. You don't want to spend hours in the kitchen. You don't want to use 1,001 ingredients. And if it doesn't look Instagrammable, then it's just not worth it, right? No, let's fix that. Because meal prep is a really common problem or struggle that women have. And most of the advice out there is the same tired stuff that just doesn't work. You know, you find a recipe, you follow it to the letter. You've got 5 containers of the exact same meal, but it's like 1,001 ingredients. It took you hours to do. And it was just like, oh my God, like epic. It was awesome for like 2 days. But by Wednesday, you just can't look at that dish anymore. And by Friday, you're ordering takeout because you're just like, I can't eat that same dish anymore because it was so fancy. And you feel like you've failed. No. Your meal prep failed you. That system failed you, not the other way around. Either rigid recipe-based meal preps or like really overly complicated recipe meal preps only works if you genuinely love that one meal enough to eat it over and over and over again, which like honestly, most people don't. I actually eat the exact same thing every single day, but my food's so bland, like simple. I like it simple that you don't get sick of that taste. But you know when you make those fancy recipes that you're like, that was so delicious. But then by day 3, you're like, God, I can't stomach it anymore. That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. So we are going to talk about what to actually do instead so that your meal prep is easy. You're not spending hours in the kitchen. You're not using 1,001 ingredients, but you can still have a little bit of variety, a little bit of sanity, but your meal prep is like super duper easy. The fix is components, not recipes. And here's where most ladies go wrong. They meal prep. Like they prep meals, they prep recipes like I talked about. I prep components. And this is where most ladies mess it up. They think meal prep means deciding your 5 dinners for the week in advance. Done. Boom. Instead, I prep the building blocks and assemble differently each day. So for example, you may do protein, cook 2 or 3 in bulk. Say chicken and mince, and then maybe you'll have some fish in the freezer. You can throw it in the air fryer, it cooks really quickly. So you've got 3 different proteins that you can rotate between for your lunches and your dinners. Then you've got your carbs. Maybe you'll do rice and potatoes, or you might meal prep rice and potatoes, and then you've got some wraps on hand too, so you can throw a little sprinkle of variety in there, whatever you like. Veggies. Roast a big tray of veggies, have your frozen veg in the, honestly, I just use frozen veg, it's so much easier. Frozen veg in there, have some salad chopped up, like whatever you like, but maybe you do some roast veggies and then you'll have some fresh salad as well. Like you can sprinkle it in and have some frozen stuff. Always have frozen stuff as your emergency backup options in the freezer because they'd never go off and you can just chuck them in the air fryer and they're ready to go super duper quickly. And then you use your sauces or your flavor boosters. And this is the bit that like you can just, have a little bit of sauce on there, have a bit of spices, a bit of herb mix. And it's the whole reason that food will taste the same every day if you don't varietize that up. If you need it, you don't have to. It is okay to eat the exact same meals every single day. Like I literally do. I'm saying you can do all these things in bulk. I cook in bulk. I'll cook like without a doubt, when I do my meal prep, I cook my chicken, fish I do in the freezer and then I chuck in the air fryer like I just mentioned. I cook rice and then in the oven, I will throw in potatoes, pumpkin, carrot, whatever I want. And then everything else is just frozen in the freezer. I cut up fresh carrot sticks too because I really love carrot sticks. And then like toppings, I'll do like almond butter on my potatoes or I'll do like avocado on my lunch. I'll add like some seaweed snacks like on my lunch to add like a bit of variety. Maybe I'll throw in some edamame beans or, like a bit of variety, but like same shit every day, literally, because I enjoy it and I just cannot be bothered to deal with complicated meal prep. And I know exactly the portions that I need. I know that I just need 100 grams of chicken on my lunches and my dinners. Like it's easy. I know how much rice I'm having on my meal. So I can meal prep my food without even thinking about it because I know the portions that I need. If I want to swap potato for rice, I know how much potato I need to have versus how much rice I need to have in that same meal. When you do things in bulk, you can mix and match. So you may have, Monday night, you may do chicken, rice, and veg, make it like a stir fry. And then Wednesday, you may do chicken with potatoes, like a loaded potato kind of thing. By Friday, you may be doing chicken salad wraps. See how it's like the same meal prep, but you've had it in 3 different ways. Way less boredom, same prep time, and you're not also trying to play Tetris with your macros because you're like, okay, I know if I want rice, potatoes, or wraps, I have these portions and they're all going to hit the same calories. If I have this, this, and this, it's all going to hit the same calories. When you see things as a build a plate method and you know what your portions are for the individual ingredients, it becomes so much easier to throw together your meals. And not everything needs meal prepping either. This is important. So prep your proteins and carbs because these take the longest and they reheat well most of the time. Leave your veggies and sauces flexible. Fresh veg cooks fast, especially if you use frozen veggies. It's like literally 2-3 minutes in the microwave, they're done. And sauces take like 30 seconds to throw together. Prepping these will make your food a bit funky, so you can do it fresh. So a practical application is like on your Sunday, cook all your proteins, cook all your carbs. Maybe you cook some veggies, you have some cut up and you have some in the freezer. Boom, done. You can literally like put it all in the oven, walk away, let it all do its thing. Maybe you just prep your proteins for the week instead and you just do, ready-made cooked rice cups, and you'll do the microwave potatoes, and you have wraps and you have bread, and pasta takes like 9 minutes to cook or something. And probably not 9 minutes, but you know what I mean. So like you can just do stuff that's ready to go. Okay, what if you just don't even have time to do any of that? Fine, buy pre-cooked chicken, buy tuna cans, buy the stuff you can throw in the air fryer like I talk about, pre-washed salad mixes, frozen veggies, things that you can literally throw together without any prep at all. That's a meal prep. That's still meal prep. Protein, carb, fiber, fat. That's it. That's all you need. You do not need to overcomplicate it any more than that. And this is the exact system that I do. Same base meals on rotation, and it's just the most easiest and most efficient thing. I work like 16-hour days, 7 days a week. I do not have time or the energy or the fucks to be given, to be honest. And I also don't like cooking. I don't want to spend all this time in the kitchen cooking all these fancy ass recipes trying to make them fit my macros when I know exactly what works for me every single time. Now, I have built the skill set up, so if I wanted to, I actually can do it a lot quicker than most. I could do fancy recipes if I really wanted to. I'm very good at whipping stuff together out, and it just ends up being very close to what my macros need to be. But I don't want to. I don't need to, and I'm not fussed about it. I really don't really care about food that much to need to do it. But if you love flavor, you love variety, then this is a perfect strategy for you to meet the best of both worlds of staying consistent with your macros and still enjoying your flexibility at the same time. Meal prep isn't about being a domestic goddess with 12 matching containers. It's about removing decision fatigue on your busiest days. The goal isn't the most impressive prep photo. The goal is not standing in front of the fridge at 7 p.m. with nothing ready, ordering Uber Eats out of pure exhaustion. Progress over perfection always applies. Some prep beats no prep every single time, and try this mix and match method or the build a plate method. You just need a protein, a carb, a veg, a fat. You're done. Mix and match. And then this is where another opportunity to be 1% better every single day in the kitchen, and just reframe what meal prep actually has to mean, and you will suddenly start being so much more successful. So your homework is to work out, okay, what's my protein target for the day? How much protein do I then need to have each meal to hit my target? Okay, what do I need to do that? Okay, I need 30 grams of protein per meal. Cool. So that's either a scoop of protein powder, 2 yogurt packets. It's, about 125 grams of raw meat. Like when you know that, it's just like, is that it? 2 cans of tuna. Oh, okay. So if I just pick one of those, I've hit over 30 grams of protein. Tick. All right. What about my carbs? Okay. I know that if I need either 100 grams of cooked rice or 70 grams of cooked pasta or 200 grams of potatoes or 40 grams of oats, like write your staple foods out and how much do I need to hit X amount of carbs? Maybe I need 50 carbs per meal. All right. Write out how much that's going to be of each of those things. And then you can just mix and match like that. And it can be that simple. So I hope you find that one helpful. But if you're still like, oh, Sammy, I love recipes. Well, come on Instagram, message me for some recipes and I can send them through to you. But honestly, this build a plate, mix, match method, stop using recipes, just use components. It's going to make your life so much easier. Thanks so much for listening. If you found this episode valuable, please rate, review, and subscribe. And I'd love if you shared this on your Instagram and tag me, Sammy_livestrong. And if you'd like to learn more about my coaching and join the Project Livestrong family, please message me, Livestrong, on Instagram, and I'll see how I can help. I'll see you next time.